Welcome to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast that talks about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm Sean, and with my fellow American Rodney, we break down the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. It's quite the journey, so join us for the ride. Radar love. That's all I got on Radar Love, because it's like we didn't start the fire. You can never remember any of the words till we didn't start the fire. You just get to that point. You know what I mean?
We don't start the fire. That one? No.
Yeah. One. In other words, 2020.
Okay.
Reichstag burning, everybody's hurting. We didn't start the fire. Yeah, so now exactly what I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
Exactly what I'm talking about, because radar love. You know what I mean? We don't.
No.
That like the verse is like kind of filler kind of stuff. We need the chorus.
Okay.
But the reason I bring that up,
yes,
is because you have gone. You are fulfilling the road trip dream, and that is like one of the quintessential. We've addressed this before.
Okay,
like that and Old Black Betty, Ram a Jam, Old Black Betty, Ram a Jam.
Right.
That and Radar Love are like quintessential road trip music songs. Got to be in the playlist, the stay list.
I got you.
And my boy out here right now trying to shop for new used cars.
Oh, yeah. I would tell you about our little car adventure and how the whole saga started, but we would have to do like a 4-hour podcast probably on that. But it's just, but I mean, we got our first car, like our first new car. We've been buying used car. I've been buying used cars since I was 16, right? So it's just like with all kinds of,
but in the U.S., right? In the
exactly, with all kinds of magical powers and lack of magical powers. But 8 years ago, we decided that we were going to buy a brand new car. Ooh. So we bought a brand new car 8 years ago and just paid the loan off a couple months ago. It was just like, oh man, we had the pictures. We're all happy with the roses.
So that means you need to buy a new car now, right? Because the old one's paid off.
Well, no, but I mean, I thought that once the car was paid off, you're good to go. I'm like,
it ain't like a house, dude. It ain't like a house.
But once the car was paid off, the mechanic is like, okay, well, you need to fix this. This needs to be fixed. These need to be replaced. This needs to be, because you got so many miles on you. And I was like, whoa. How much is that going to cost us?
Yeah, in Sweden, they don't mess around. Like we've spoken about the inspection system before.
Hey, they want
real pricey.
Hey, it was going to be 40,000 crowns to fix the stuff that needed to be fixed.
4,000 euros? Hell no. Hell no. Send that girl out to pasture. She's done.
Hey,
She's
but
done.
That's what. No, but we were like,
like
okay,
8 new windshields.
Hey, but I was thinking, hey, we'll just sell it. How much can we get for the car? He was like, maybe 7,000. I was like, whoa. Hit the brakes that don't work.
Bruh. Come on.
I was like, yeah, you want me to put 40,000 into a car that I can't turn around and sell for more than 7? Or I mean, I realize, and everybody listening to this is probably like, well, yeah, that's the way it works. But still, there's something about, I just wasn't prepared for that reality of, because I thought by the end of the loan thing, that we'd be taking the same happy pictures we did with the bouquet of flowers and the, holding up the car keys next to the brand new car, 8 years, loan paid off. It was like me kneeling by the car, crying, like pounding it with the.
Well, what kind of car was it? What has lasted you this long, at least put in its service?
It's a Skoda.
A Skoda.
And I love it. I love Skoda. We love the car. We've had a great time, with the car, and it's been really good. We've done all the stuff for it, and it still looks great. It's just we have put on a crap load of miles on that car.
Well, that's what I would say. There's your problem. If you're going to put on a crap load of miles, You gotta get a Japanese car. Those things
Yeah.
last forever. They're like tanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a great car. We love it. But anyway, so today we are looking for the Skoda's replacement, which puts us in it's been kind of a thing because now we can like downsize.
I
Because
know,
now,
right? Now
you know,
you don't
all
have
of-
like 2.5 kids that you have to like.
Well, one of them that's
Adjust for.
6'7". It's like
He rides in the trailer in the back. Come on.
once you remove the 6'7" child from your car, I was like, hey, we could get like a mini. We could get like a little mini.
Yes.
Yeah. But we went from our Skoda, it's a Skoda Octavia, and then we just went down a size to a Fabia, and it's also, they call it Kombi here, but what would you call it? It's not like a wagon,
Oh, yes. Yes. You're so Swedish. Oh, I love this. Is
So
that I need to make a statement for
Okay.
everyone who has ever been to Sweden or hasn't gotten here yet. Everybody in this country, no, I can't say everybody, 80% of the car owners here.
85. 85.
You know where I'm
Like
going.
80
They
Yes, I
have
know.
the station wagon, the thing in the back. And what we have always heard, my wife and I, is that,
Right.
oh, you need the space for the dog. And I'm like, no, I think that's what people do here. It's like people without a dog, they have the wagon. Everybody has the wagon. Like they're waiting. I swear to God, if you had like a wood paneling that could go on the side of it, people would buy it here
Yeah.
to do the
But, I mean-
straight up vacation, like Christmas vacation kind of thing.
But that's the Volvo that you know and love. Is that, but it's,
But
and
that's
it's
what
funny,
SUVs were supposed to replace.
right. Yeah. But you do get used, you get used to having that extra space in the back. You might not know it's there until you go to, IKEA.
Well,
and then all of a
especially
sudden, yeah.
in your phase of life when you have to start moving kids to college and back and moving them into
Buying used
apartments and
furniture.
stuff yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's some handy stuff, especially fold down seats. It's like
Yeah.
the modern era. Wow.
Adrian his car is really small, and now I don't know what it is. I think it's like a Honda. It's like it's a small car. It's like a small car.
Well, Honda, like the basic models are the Civic and the Accord.
Right.
Well, at least in the States, that's the platforms that you can go off of.
Well, it's a small car like that. It's a little,
Yeah.
we call it the Silver Bullet. It's like this little car.
2-door or
and
4-door?
It's a 4-door.
Okay, nice.
It's a 4-door.
Thinking
But
of the
it was,
future. Thinking of the future.
but it's small, fits Adrian pretty much like a glove. That when he had moved into his place, he went and bought a 52-inch TV.
Yes.
And somewhere along the line, I guess he didn't like do the whole thought process. The purchasing process was more seeing it in the store and then envisioning what it's going to look like when he's sitting in front of it at home. But the whole transportation and logistics of that thing, I don't think it hit him until they was like wheeling.
I can give him so many life tips right now. Half
I
my
still
cars,
don't. Yeah, I still don't know how he did it.
half my cars that I ever owned have been
Yeah.
like Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Okay.
So then you have to have the hatchback open. You have to fold the seats down. You have to wedge
Yeah.
the thing in there. And then still you have to have the passenger seat folded down because the corner of the TV is like sticking up there. Dude, I have lived this life.
You get like one leg out the window and then the other window roll down.
Yes.
You gotta angle the mirrors and like do everything. It's like
But
pull
it's
the
worth
ashtray
it.
out.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it.
Yeah, I'm still amazed. I'm still amazed. And he had a friend with him. And I'm like, so I mean it was him and a passenger and a big ass TV.
Well, didn't you see the reports in the local about some guy running on the top of a car going down the highway?
Wasn't me. I promise. But I could see that like at home in a college town.
Oh yeah.
That would be like a normal thing. Was he holding a pizza?
Could have been. Could have been.
Right. Because then it's like, oh, it's just what's his name getting a pizza. Hey, it's Frank. He's late for the game.
Man, I have to tell you, I had some flashbacks. Speaking of cars, like I walked I don't know who it is in the neighborhood or where exactly it was, but I was walking across the street, and you know how the cars actually stop for you in this country. They're like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, okay, we'll brake and you go walk across the street." And half the time I get looks from the drivers like they're sitting there braking from like half a mile away going, "Would you cross the street already?" I'm like,
Right.
"Dude, I'm from Miami. I don't walk until your car stops completely." Like, I'm not trusting it. I'm not trusting it at all.
I want eye contact with you. I want eye contact with your passenger. I want eye contact with the guy in the car behind you.
All of a sudden, this dark gray Volkswagen Golf GTI comes around. I'm like, oh, that's my old car. Oh. I'm like, Dylan, get a look at this. Get a look at this. That's what Daddy used to drive. And then it goes off. I'm like, I'm like, you're not using the throttle enough. Give us some more gas. Come on.
Yeah. Lynn and I had lunch after the car experience. The salesman, who was extremely helpful, really nice, but got stuck with an older couple that were also buying a car, and their paperwork took forever. It took forever.
So you went pre-owned. You went pre-owned.
Yeah.
Like a dealer certified kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. We're not doing the whole. I was like, look, you can keep the
That's
flowers.
what I was going to ask you, because in Miami, it's the same thing. I wouldn't buy a car off of like a Craigslist or Auto Trader or something like that. Like, there's too many people trying to scam you. But like Stockholm seems a little bit like everyone's on the up and up pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, that whole used car sales thing is really not my, and I can see where there were people that have no scruples, right?
Yeah.
There are people that, that will just tell you whatever, they'll sell whatever. And then you have like us, right? I mean, I'm assuming that you care about the next person that you're going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're selling something like a car.
Right.
It's like it's a piece of you almost, you have to know who is it going to? What kind of person are you?
Exactly. Exactly.
What do you like to do on the weekends? Please tell me, because otherwise I can't sell my car to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you could just fill out this form, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say is your greatest weakness?
Yeah, this is Frank, my psychologist. He's just going to place a couple of simple questions before we hand over the keys.
Exactly.
And then ask what kind of house your car is going to get. It's like, do you have a garage? Oh, it's going to be parked outside. Do you have an electrical outlet so that you can plug it in and keep it nice and cozy during the winter?
Because you do have a car-sized blanket, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta have the blankie, the car blankie.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, so afterwards we're starving. So we go and we grab a bite to eat. The weather was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were north of the city, Upplands Väsby.
So which is like what? Orstaberg? What is north of the city for you?
North of the city is like Solna, Kista, Rotebro.
Oh, okay. So proper
Upplands Väsby. Like, yeah.
Not like north in relation to where everybody goes to leave.
Of like T-Centralen. It's like north of T-Centralen.
The north.
The big white north. No, but so we find a little restaurant, decided to do Chop Chop, little Chinese. It's kind of like Panda. Like it's a little quick Chinese food.
Please do tell, because honestly, I've been on the hunt for a good proper Chinese. Like, who can give me a proper lo mein, chow mein kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like that awful Chinese takeaway, but when you haven't had it in years, it's like it might as well be a mac and cheese, because it's such a comforting thing for Americans.
Oh, I comfort fooded out today. I mean, we definitely, because we were looking, when we pulled up and parked, to the left was Pizza Hut, and then to the right was Chop Chop. So it was like the big debate. I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, what do you want to do? And she's like, oh, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to decide. You go ahead. And then, so we walk into the Pizza Hut and take a look around. I'm thinking, okay, as long as it's like a breakfast buffet lunch, where you can grab all kinds of pizza and all kinds of salad and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was not. They don't have that on Sundays. So it was like walking into a Western saloon where the doors opened up and it's like, yeah. And then there was like an old couple to the left. there was this older couple to the left that was gnawing on a pizza crust, and I was like, nah, I think we're going to have to opt for the...
There's like a tumbleweed that goes blowing by. You're just like,
Exactly.
this town ain't big enough. They're the two of us.
This pizza right here is enough for me. And
That crust ain't gonna satisfy us both.
why you eyeballing my pizza?
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Yeah, so we opted out of there. And the lady came out of the kitchen. She was like, oh, and I was like, no. And we turned around and hightailed it next door to the Chinese place.
I love it. I love it.
And then we went there, and of course, everything is those electronic order screens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the place it's a really small place. Somehow they managed to cram 4 of those little ordering stations.
But that's amazing. So for people who don't live here, I find I didn't see this in London. I've never seen it really. Maybe they have it in New York or something like that. But it's like these giant touch TV screens. Right. They're super tall. And then that has the entire menu, and you like order everything on there. Kind of like when you go through the drive-through. So exactly. You never talk to the person at the register. They just call out your number.
Yeah.
But
and now it's like a chess game now, because not only do you have these these big screens that you're supposed to order on, you also have social distancing stuff going on.
Exactly.
So you're trying to figure out like which one of these order screens you can stand at. And, you have the things on the floor with the decal saying, avstånd, hold avstånd, keep your distance. And the thing about it is it almost feels, because you know how fast it would be if you went up to the counter. You'd be like, hey, what's up?
Totally,
and you point at it and be like, I'll have a 2-thing combo. I'll go ahead and have the fried rice. I'll have the orange chicken. I'll have the cashew chicken
God
too.
Forbid, ask questions.
Oh, yeah. Like a big red button on the side of the screen. It's like,
this burger that I'm about to press the button on, is it the vegan burger or is it the real burger? Because that's what screws me up all the time.
Yeah.
Because they get me on the avocado, and then next thing I know, it's like the vegan burger. And it doesn't taste bad, but it would have tasted better with the real burger, quote unquote. Coming from McDonald's and Max and all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I could probably go for like a double vegan burger, but you would have to slide a real patty in between there somewhere. You know, to be like vegan.
No.
No.
I could do the vegan burger, but like, give me some real cheese. Give me like, throw some bacon. Throw some bacon on there. Let's make it like a real burger. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Because it's not that bad.
No. The Chinese food hit the spot, though. The Chinese food hit the spot. And we decided to sit outside. Beautiful weather. Did not sit. Lena sat down, and then I decided to sit next to her. Because I'm sitting here, and I'm thinking, okay, the sun's coming from that side.
And then everyone's starting to give you eyeballs. Like, look at these two human beings sitting next to each other.
Next to each other.
What is that?
Right. But we're married. We can do that. We don't have to look at each other anymore. We can look at everybody else, It's like... So it's you can't go to the movies, so why not? So we're sitting next to each other, enjoying our food, looking at all of the people in the parking lot, checking out the idiots that are trying to park over there, and we're looking at the...
yes, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so people watching. Chinese food, sunshine, and people watching.
I mean, love it.
It was fantastic.
That sounds
and
like
a guy,
dream.
A guy got into a BMW. Right, older BMW.
Wagon,
I don't know what
probably.
it was.
Wagon.
No, almost. It was wagon-esque. It was.
It's either a wagon or all the decals on the backside are taken off, so you can't tell what it is.
That's why. But he gets in. He starts it up. That's as soon as like the whole BMW thing left, because it looked like a BMW. It definitely did not sound like a BMW. So he had done something to the muffler. So. As soon as he accelerated, it did like that muffler. It did like it had a weird, like Hot Wheels noise kind of feature to it. So of course, in order to get that going, he had to like rev the whole way through the parking lot. It was like, yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
So instead of dessert, we got that.
What do you call it? The high performance ones, the motorsport of BMW.
Yeah.
Typically, they do what do they call it? Like car fart, where they go plap, 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 when like the fire shoots out the back, right? Because they're burning on such high efficiency.
My first car did that. I thought it was normal. I was like,
well, I think your first car probably had problems.
I was like way ahead of the curve. I was like, they're like, hey, Rodney, do you know that your car is spitting flames? I'm like, yeah.
Hey, I had one of those too. I had this 87, I think it was, white Firebird Formula, and the back wing it wasn't even fiberglass. It was made out of like silicone and rubber.
Okay.
Right? And then I was like, we would go the football team, like football, European soccer team, American. We would be all going to eat, before the game, and I'm like keeping up with everyone. I'm like, yeah, I got this muscle car, carburetor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like flooring it down the highway, like for like 2 meters or whatever it is. Yeah. And then everyone tells me, dude, you have like brown smoke coming out the back of your car. And I'm like, God damn it. So like you start hitting it with like the fawns with your fist.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
But
I had the one car that the reverse stopped working. So
reverse stop?
Yeah, the reversed, like going in reverse. You couldn't put the car in reverse. It only went forward. So something happened to the something happened to the transmission, and I could not like back the car up. I could only go forward.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, so wherever I went, I always had to strategically park so that nobody was in front of me. I always had to like park. So, yeah.
No, that's got to take the cake of the best teenager car ever.
Oh yeah.
It go backwards, guys. You can't park in front of me.
Please,
back out of this spot.
Yeah, no, but I had to like park up.
Excuse me, sir. I need to get my license, but my car doesn't go in reverse.
Exactly. No, I've done a couple of. I had that forced me to do a couple of Fred Flintstone moves in my time.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of car farts, as it were, you sent me this video the other day, and I need an explanation.
But it was you telling me that's the first time that you heard?
That is literally the first time I've heard it. I've seen this graphic. All it said was caramba.
Exactly. And you were thinking, oh, this must be from like Latin America or someplace.
Yes, exactly.
And then you put it on and you were like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it was how did I describe it to you? It was like a Swedish haka.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, for the best rugby team in the world is typically the All Blacks out of New Zealand.
Right.
And it's traditional as New Zealand Warriors to do a haka in the beginning of the match, where they're like, they get this aggressive stance and they chant and bata. And if you have never seen it, go look it up. Go look up from the Olympics. It's amazing. It's incredible. But then this song was like zoom zoom. It was like some weird cross between a haka and like Lou Bega. Zoom zoom.
It was kind of right. Yeah. Did you play for Dylan? I told you play for Dylan.
I played it. He was in the area,
but he didn't really know what was.
He kind of gave me a look like, "What is this?"
Really? He was like, "Hey, did Rodney send you this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I.
What is it? Where does it come from?
Well, Lena had actually put it on. I'll go ahead and research it. I remember hearing it during trips over here, and I'd heard it a couple times over the years, but I had forgotten about it. And then Lena had, I don't know if she had put it up. Somehow it popped back up into my life, and that's when I was like, this has to go out, and Sean has to hear this. And you loved it. Now
everyone listening. Look, what is the song called? Tell them, Rodney.
I don't know, but I know that if you look up Caramba, it pops up. I think it has but it has like a weird name too. I think it's called the Zug Zug song or something.
It's something crazy, and it has a white background, and it says Caramba.
Yeah, I will let you know. It's called Hubba Hubba Zoot Zoot.
There you go, Hubba Zoot Zoot.
There it is.
Hubba Hubba Zoot Zoot. I couldn't even. And you're texting me while I'm listening to it like, it's going to stick in your head forever. And I'm like, it's really not. It's so bizarre. I'm never going to remember this again.
Yep, you are. You're going to wake up one night and you're going to be like, hubba, hubba, zoop, zoop, hubba, hubba, zoop, zoop.
Yeah. Don't think so.
No, okay.
But I do have to tell you, so people of my ilk, my era, we grew up with like the new metal generation. So Linkin Park, we grew up with Korn, we grew up with Limp Bizkit, all these people. And one band that kind of fit the definition, but was also outside of it at the same time, the Deftones.
Ooh.
So good. And if you've never been to one of their live shows, you have to go.
Yeah.
Because I came from the era, I got into them by listening to the album White Pony, which is kind of like a shoegazy kind of, there's elements of pop in there. It's like, it's weird, but it's like pretty relaxed kind of listening. And then when you go to the shows, it's like a complete departure because everyone's like moshing. So to these kind of slower kind of shows. Yeah. And like the singer singing kind of like softly, like falsetto kind of stuff. And you're just like taken out into this whole different arena. And then finally they have released new music. And it's fantastic.
Okay. So that's the hot tip right there.
That's the hot tip. That's the music going on right now.
Okay.
So good. And it's heavy. So you have to be into like metal or hard rock or like just you want heavy driven guitars, probably tuned to B, which is pretty low, but so good. So I turned it on for just to like, it got released on Friday. Right. And since we're in Sweden, we have to do everything in the afternoon. Because all these bands that are in America, they release on Friday, right? So that's plus 6 hours, and then you have to calculate. Okay, so I can't listen. I should be able to listen to it at this time, but then I have to listen to it at noon, and then So Dylan is sleeping away, and then he starts waking up, and I'm like, okay, this kid likes a little heavy bass. He likes a little heavy driven guitar. So I tell our voice activated assistant, whose name starts with an A, but who I won't say out loud in case she starts talking to me in the background.
In case she's listening.
She's powered by Google. Like, you can know that. And she listens to everything you say. So then I say, hey,
right.
I'm like, play this album. As I'm picking him up and I'm taking him out. And it goes dum 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 dum. And then this kid, he's like pumping his fists in the air. He's like, yeah.
Dylan is?
Yes. Dylan? I'm like, bro, this is crazy.
Yes.
Like instantly, he's like, yeah. I'm like, Dylan, your pointer finger and your pinky finger, those go up. Those go up. Just like, rah. But yeah, he's been dancing the whole weekend.
Okay.
That, and then I was like, well, why don't we put on a little carnival music from Brazil?
You're like,
I have a strange theory. Like, let's put on a little carnival music, like da 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 da, like with all the drums and the percussion going on in the background. It's like a cacophony of noise.
Right.
You put that on in his vicinity.
Yeah.
You can see, like, in the veins, like the blood activating. And he, like, his shoulders start shaking.
He just can't control. He's uncontrollable.
He's like, what is this? And then his hips start moving back and forth. And he's like, his feet start tapping on the floor. And then he starts clapping. He literally starts clapping. He's like, da, da, da. And next thing you know, he's doing the samba in the middle of the house. I'm like, dude, it's in the blood. It's in the blood.
I'm envisioning like this little version of Beetlejuice, that scene when they're like, hey,
that's exactly what it is.
Uncontrollable body.
That is exactly what it is.
That'll do it for this week's episode, everybody. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out now on YouTube. We've got some awesome behind-the-scenes footage that we record before the podcast episode. And also, we see you out there with your reviews and ratings. We love it. Keep them coming. And then check back here next time for more Two Guys, Three Crowns.